So, Zero and Below, I mean, you guys have been sitting on this album for a couple of years, correct?
Yes,
You guys
since 2 years. So
you guys plan on touring with it on this album going into 2020. So, and that's what I mean by what does it mean to you? Like, I mean, you've had a lot of time to, oh, maybe no, maybe yes, take this song, let's put in a different song. Like, what is the struggle and triumph been in this album, Zero and Below?
I mean, it was difficult on me and the other 3 band members, because we really believe in the record. We love the way it came out, and it was kind of like, fuck, here we go. Oh wow. So when's it going to come out now? Do we push it back 6 months? Do we push it back a year? Do we push it back 2 years? Well, we ended up pushing it back a little over 2 years. It was completed in February of 2020. But what it means to me a lot as far as finally getting it out, finally being able to get on the road and and tour behind it, and which is what we love to do anyway, is be on the road touring. But for us, I think that, and I've talked to all the guys in the band, and they feel the same way. It's like, sitting around and listening to it over the course of 2 years. I mean, not every day, for God's sake, but listen to it quite a few times, maybe 40, 50 times. I don't, none of us, we all agree we wouldn't actually change anything, which is great, because we really did. Technically, we could have gone in and redone something or said, oh, I don't know about this song or whatever, but I think we did, we were happy that we felt confident in what we wrote and recorded and the way that it came out, the production, everything like that. So, for us, it was, it was nice. It's nice to finally get this thing coming out, but it was a good feeling to know that even if we had the chance to, we wouldn't go back and change anything. We feel really confident in what we accomplished.
Awesome, man. That's awesome to hear. Also, like COVID, COVID has really put its mark on the music industry the past couple of years. How did you guys pivot through those times, and what was the course of action, that you guys end up taking?
I mean, we were able to do a few live streams with Crowbar. A live stream with Down, and then we were able to do one or 2 shows with Down, one which was a live stream from here in New Orleans. But we really couldn't do anything. So I mean, for us, we just tried to wear our masks and not really go out socializing much at all, trying to be careful. And I mean, we're all vaxxed, so it's something that, I mean, we really had no choice. And I mean, I caught it. My drummer caught it as well. And his girlfriend. So we I like to think that maybe having a vax made it not such a bad case of COVID. I mean, the first 4 or 5 days, because people are like, well, how was it? I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, the first 4 or 5 days, I've never been so exhausted in my life. I couldn't even, it's all I could do to get up and go piss or grab a water or something. I just laid in bed for like 4 or 5 days. And that's the truth. Like, that's all I could do. I didn't have energy to do anything else. And then after that, I mean, I didn't feel well. I was more just fatigued, but I didn't, like I told my wife, I said, well, babe, I never had, I never did at any point, feel like I wanted to go to the hospital or fear for my life or anything like that. So, I mean, I was blessed in that sense that, it wasn't, in my opinion, a really, really bad case. I mean, I don't want to get it again, but I mean, being vaxxed and having, I should have antibodies. So, they should protect me. And, I think that on the next tour, I've really got to, we all do, we've really got to be, it's a long tour. So we really need to be extra careful with, coming in contact with the fans and stuff like that, which is something that I really enjoy doing and I miss it. I mean, I love to hang out with my wife at the merchandise booth and take photos and meet people and talk about stuff and whatever. And, you know, I just, I really can't do it like I would like to, you know. So I got to be really, really careful with that, and do what's the safest and smartest, you know, thing I can.
Hey, dude. During the creation of Zero and Below, what were you consuming artistically? Whether it be movies, TV shows, other music, what was in your life at that time?
I kind of went through a little bit of a kick listening to a lot of Trouble, which I'm a big fan of that band from Chicago. But in general, I mean, like I tell people, and I guess they figure because I'm a musician and this is my career and I love music and this is my life, you know, I mean, honestly, if my wife and I listen to music, it's usually in the car just running errands. It's like, you know, our life is busy and, you know, it's good. I mean, it's good that way. There's certainly nothing wrong with it. But I don't really get to, you know, to do what I did when I was younger, which is, you know, put on records and listen with the headphones and experience the whole thing and kind of, you know, just get into the vibe of albums and stuff. I mean, I just don't have time to do that any longer. So, I mean, there was nothing really in particular. Okay, babe. There was nothing in particular with that I really listened to or watched or anything like that during the writing. It was just kind of just life, you know, pre-COVID, having no idea what was right around the corner. But, you know, it was just life as usual. Everything was fine, you know, so.
And even that, like when you're creating and do you ever miss that? The getting lost in music?
Yeah, I mean, I do. And I mean, I'm really, really old school. I mean, I have a CD player in our car that unfortunately doesn't work. So I can't listen to my CDs, but that would be, you know, that would be like my closest thing. Like say my daughter lives like a little over an hour from here. She lives in Baton Rouge. So if I'm going and she's at LSU now, so I'm very, very proud of her. She's in college. But, you know, a lot of times, you know, I would, you know, I might put in a CD and listen to it on the drive there and kind of get it, you know, absorbed in it. And you know, that I miss that absolutely, you know, because I mean, being I mean, obviously, you know, music, something hit me over the head, something positive with music when I was a young dude, you know. So it's that love of it always is still there, you know, and I do miss being able to get just lost. I mean, music's an escape, you know, and it should take you to somewhere special, you know, and you know, I do miss being able to do that more often.
I read an article online, how you were talking about how people go to you and they talk to you about the hard times and how you have helped them through, you know, times of despair. And I think the quote is crush them with positivity or something along those lines. Is there a story that you often think about that is special to you in the same vein of that, of someone coming up to you and sharing their life?
I mean, like for me, it's a great feeling to have people. I mean, even way back in like the, you know, early to mid 90s, like way before social media, way before computers, all that kind of stuff, you know, people would write me and you know, like long letters, you know, like, you know, about how you know, they had gone through a really, really dark period in their life and how the music had really, you know, helped them you know, get through it, survive it, move forward, you know. And you know, so I mean, that's a, you know, that's a really strong thing when you can make a difference in somebody's life like that and change it, you know, for the better for them. And you know, I think that because of that, you know, I like to be careful about you know, what I write about. I like to be careful about what I say. You know, in social media, whatever you would like to call it, in interviews and things. I want to be careful about it and make sure that if somebody's really having a rough time in life, that I don't do I want to do anything I can to help them. I don't want to do anything to kind of piss on that. I want to try to help them through my lyrics and things like that.
What's a piece of knowledge that you wish you knew when you were younger, that you know now that you wish you knew when you were younger? As a musician, in the vein of musician, being a musician.
I would say, like, honestly, just finding out, and of course you have to live it and experience it to know what it is. But I would think that, I wish I knew, and I honestly don't know what I would have done any differently, but I wish I had known back when I got started how ruthless and cutthroat and difficult the music business really is. You learn. I still learn stuff, all these years later, and it's cutthroat, it's ruthless, it's now you having all these wars with Spotify and things like this, and it's just, it seems like we get fucked a lot, a lot of the way the whole industry is run. It's like, the record company gives you an advancement to record with and put a few bucks in your pocket, and they basically make all the money. In order to recoup, you have to pay back through record sales every freaking bit of the packaging and every fucking ink pen and anything that they have they've kept receipts for, basically. Like I read something or saw something like about 10 15 years ago, maybe it was a while back, and it was an actor or an actress, I think it was a guy, and they said, music people, it's really tough because you don't really get paid like upfront. You get an advancement, but it's not, you're not really getting paid like, the guys, like, if I make $20 million a movie, I get $20 million to make the movie, whether it flops or not. I got my money, I did my job, and so for us it's a lot different than that. Although things like the sale of vinyls has really changed the face of buying a hard product for the better, because things are really getting where people just, nobody could sell actual CDs or vinyls or whatever. But the vinyl's taken over CDs. Vinyl's really big, and that's really helped things a lot. And like what we do, and I think all the bands do, is when you sell a vinyl and somebody buys it, it comes with a little card that's got a digital download. So you got the best of both. You can put it on your phone or your computer or whatever, and you can also have the hard physical product to listen to the vinyl and look at the artwork and read the lyrics and all this stuff that I miss, when I was a kid, in the 70s and early 80s and all. It's like every band that I listened to, I knew who wrote the song, I knew the publishing company, I knew the producer of the record, I knew where it was recorded, I knew every word to every song, I knew everything because I read the whole, inner sleeve and all. The whole album, front to back, inside and out, everything that was written on there, I read it repeatedly, while I would listen to the music. And things have gotten better with the vinyl thing, no doubt. I honestly feel bad, and I mean that, for the younger generation that they don't get to do the things that I did, which is go to a record store and hang out for hours, listening to music, hanging out with other guys. Yep. Hours. Like that was going out, my friend Paul and I played in the band with Paul Bebo when we were. I went to high school with him. We played in the band together, and he used to. I think he actually managed, but he used to work at Warehouse Records.
Warehouse Records,
which was it was a mom and pop when I think they had 3 stores. It wasn't the one that's like was a national chain, but like Paul would work until midnight, so the record stores were open until midnight. So on like Friday night, we'd that was our hangout. Like me and the guys that I ended up eventually being in a band with. That was it. They had a daiquiri shop next door, so we go get a daiquiri, and that was our hangout. We just listen to music and just talk and look at albums and talk about musical gear and just the whole 9 yards, man. It was just innocent. It was great. It was such a wonderful, like just carefree time in life, really, But that was our actual going out. We didn't even go to bars. We, on Friday night, we go hang out with Paul at Warehouse Records and
because the discovery
listen to metal.
New bands meant the world.
Yeah.
Hey, look what I found. Like, imagine, like, do you remember going to school on Monday and like, I found this? Look, listen to this band. Oh my God, that's awesome. Like, just excitement of discovering something new that no one else has heard. And the endless possibilities behind it.
Big time, because I had a very small group of friends, and one of the guys I'm still really good friends with. He's actually my air conditioning guy. I went to high school with him, and Big Jerry, and it was weird because I played sports, I ran track, I lifted weights, I did the whole 9 yards, played football, all that stuff. But after school, I would do all that with sports guys, but during school, I would listen, he'd bring a jam box with cassette tapes, and he would lend me, he'd find all these underground bands. And, I remember, getting like Angel Witch, the first record, on one side of a cassette, and Twisted Sister, Under the Blade, on the other side, before they were signed to Atlantic. And he would just bring different music, and he'd make me tapes at home and give them to me, And then I'd hear the tapes, and then I'd run out to the store and go to the import section and buy the vinyl, and the rest is history. But yeah, man, that was great. That was one of the great things. Was talking about finding Manowar and shit like this, back in the early 80s. Just finding all these metal bands. Of course, we knew of Priest and Maiden, and Saxon and a few others of the bigger new wave of British heavy metal, but a lot of the smaller bands who were great bands. Jerry would bring me a tape or two every week, and that was and like I said, I'd take them home, I'd listen to them, and I'd go out and buy them, and the vinyl. So that was great time.
Freaking A, it was. Are you at all paying attention to the big game this weekend?
A little bit.
It's LSU. That's Joe Burrow from LSU, and you got Jamar Chase.
Yeah. I think the wife and I are definitely pulling for Cincinnati. But she has a way, and I'm looking at her right here because I'm laughing. She has a way of like, she goes by what team has the best costume, not uniform, costume. And
definitely not Cincinnati.
And I'm telling you, well,
I
don't know what happened.
Uniform is awesome.
Well, she's the thing is with her, she'll, like, we were watching, we watched all the other playoff stuff leading up.
I have to watch the game for him to win, though. Yeah,
she's got to watch the game, and she's got to, if she says like she can't change her mind, she can't go, oh, you know what, I'm pulling for this team. Like, she can't go, I think I'm pulling for the Chiefs, and then later on go, yeah, I think I want the Bills to win. Well, the Bills didn't win. It's like,
I'm a Bills fan.
Yeah. We actually, and it's a pretty smart thing. Local sports guys down here years ago, like, a lot of times Saints fans are looking for another NFL team to pull for. And they said, if you're going to pull for one, pull for the Bills. It's a small market, just like New Orleans. It's working class. It's an AFC team, so unless we're playing them head to head, you know, it doesn't hurt to pull for them, you know. But yeah, we're definitely pulling. I think the whole state down here is pulling for Cincinnati with Joe Burrow and you know, and Chase and all that.
It's just an underdog story, man. Everyone loves that.
Yep, absolutely. You know, and I mean, who knows?
Like the Chiefs, but I said I got it.
I know, babe. but yeah, man. So yeah, we're gonna, you know, we'll watch a little bit, just kind of chill. I mean, she's got to work Saturday, so I'm just gonna kind of chill and do some housework and whatnot, and you know, we'll watch the game Sunday, and that'll be that.
All right. Well, I am going to switch gears a little bit and slow down the interview to the end. I have a few more questions, but they're funner questions. They're not about music, and they're just about you yourself. And they should go fairly fast. I have 5 of them. I want to first and foremost say that I love your art. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you so much.
It's been an honor to be able to speak with you and to pick your brain a little bit about what you do.
Thank you.
All right. So my first question is, if you had to put together a dream concert, who would be in your dream concert, alive or dead? 4 people, 4 artists.
4 artists, I would say. Original Kiss, Led Zeppelin.
I knew you were gonna say Kiss.
Original Kiss. So, like, you know, Kiss circa 75, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, and Thin Lizzy.
Oh my God. No one said it better than you.
Thank you.
What is your mom or dad's signature dish?
As in, would they like to eat or cooking?
Cooking. Like the one meal, like when you go home, like, oh, mom or dad would cook this.
Well, my mom passed away in 2006, but she was always a cook. My dad was a good griller, so we would grill on Sundays. So, and my mom, God bless her, she was very, like, we're from New Orleans, so we like shit spicy. Mm-hmm. She didn't like anything spicy at all. So I would have to say, as much as I love you, Mom, God bless you, but you know, my dad grilling out, I think, would be what I would look forward to.
All right. What is life teaching you right now?
Patience. You know, I mean, everything's just been so difficult, you know, and I mean, I mean, I feel completely blessed and totally, you know, lucky and everything that we're getting this record out and we're actually ready to go on tour. And you know, there's a lot of good things going on. I mean, Liz is keeping me very busy with the interviews, but that's a great thing. You know, so really just, I won't even say patience. Yeah, I mean, I guess patience, just kind of learning how to just chill a bit more, or trying to anyway, you know, with what's going on around us, you know. I mean, you know, it really, you know, during the height of the pandemic, I really went through a lot of, you know, a bit of depression and whatnot. I mean, just uncertainty as to what's going to happen in the world, what's going to happen in the music industry, what's going to, you know, do I have a career anymore, you know, blah, 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 blah. So I think right now, patience would be a great thing to learn, and I'm trying to.
How have you almost died?
What's that?
How have you almost died?
I would say a few car accidents. Luckily, I wasn't hurt bad, but you know, I was in 2 accidents where the car flipped, you know, and was upside down.
Was that on tour?
No, thank God.
At home?
Just, yeah. One was back in the mid 90s. One was more in the like 2010 or something like that. But I mean, yeah, about 2009, 2010. But luckily I wasn't hurt. Had my seatbelt, had the airbag, wasn't going fast. So, but I mean, other than that, I mean, when I was a kid, I had the mumps, but I also had encephalitis, which is swelling of the brain. I had it at the same time. and I was in like second grade, and this is back in like 1972 or something. So I was really, really sick. And really back then, it wasn't even a case of like, I mean, my mom brought me to the doctor. I was running like 105 fever or something. She had to hold my tongue down with a spoon so I wouldn't swallow it. I was having convulsions. And honestly, they did all this at home back then. I wasn't even hospitalized. Now if it would have got any worse, they didn't even have 911 back then, but I mean, it didn't, but if it would have gotten any worse, of course, she would have had to rush me to the hospital, but that's kind of how you did it, how we did it back then. But that was probably the sickest from like something I had contracted that I've ever been.
And then my last question, and once again, thank you. You've been great.
Sure.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Crowbar's been around for 30 years. What is your fondest memory that you cherish in regards to the band of those 30 years?
Honestly, there really can't be. Just hold on, babe. There can't really be one because there's been so many, and that's the truth. I mean, there's been a lot of great, moments and things that have happened.
I'll just talk
in my career, so I would say I can't put a finger on one.
I'm Robert.
All right.
I'm good.
Kirk, thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you, brother.
Hang on.
Have a good one.